The reason we need populism and need to get it formed up is that there's bigger and more crucial decisions coming down the road.
Steve Bannon did not drain the swamp while he worked in the White House. You may have noticed the former Goldman Sachs banker is still talking about it, railing against the elites and promising he will be a populist leader against capitalism now that he's out of government. He's also one of the only Trump insiders to directly respond to Eminem, telling a reporter he doesn't give an expletive, which Breitbart posted. Bannon clearly relishes being a villain to the left, and his message now appears to be, I am whatever you say I am, and if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? That, plus attacking Wall Street, where he used to work.
You guys have more common sense, more understanding of what we need to do, and more decency than the elites. And the first order of business is to undo all the damage of globalism, right? That allowed Silicon Valley and Wall Street and Hollywood and the imperial capital right here in Washington, D.C. If you think that the elites that got the world into the situation it is today are going to make the right judgments 20 years from now, you're sadly mistaken.
That attack also comes as another Trump cabinet member under fire for hiding up to $2 billion, not million, $2 billion during the Trump transition, raising a question of what populism even means. Some Democratic strategists say Trump's hypocrisy and failure to drain the swamp is actually an opportunity and to own real populism on the economy and health care, as Jeff Weaver is arguing. In a new piece that's making the rounds about the real populist revolution, he says it's on the left. With me, the man who wrote that piece, Jeff Weaver, former senior advisor to Senator Bernie Sanders and other Democrats, as well as Perry Bacon, a political writer for 538. Jeff, how do you go from the frustration with the Trump team getting away everything from the private jets to the missing $2 billion I just showed? How do you get that over to what you're calling this revolution?
Well, look, Steve Bannon is a very skilled snake oil salesman, along with Donald Trump. You know, both of them pledged during the campaign they were going to help working people in this country and middle-income people. And what we have seen from this administration is an unrelenting attack on the financial and, frankly, the physical health with their attacks on the ACA of working class and middle class people across this country. You look at the administration, it is really a joke. George W. Bush would never have had the guts to pack so many Wall Street types and billionaires in his administration. What is going on here is really a travesty, and folks who are talking about the Trump hypocrisy are absolutely right. And Bannon is part of that hypocrisy, clearly.
And Perry, let me play for you what Donald Trump said today when asked about Steve Bannon. They have this dance. I mean, he seems to have a much more immediate big public profile than the typical departing advisor. Here was the president today.
Mr. President, do you approve of Steve Bannon's war on Mitch McConnell and the Republican establishment?
Well, Steve is very committed. He's a friend of mine, and he's very committed to getting things passed. We're not getting the job done. And I'm not going to blame myself, I'll be honest. They are not getting the job done.
As you see, Perry, it's hard for Donald Trump to answer a question about Steve Bannon without talking about himself. But what do you think of what's going on here?
I think that Steve Bannon, he left the White House. By the way, Steve Bannon helped pick most of the cabinets, so that his version of populism does include billionaire cabinet members. But I should note that I think that Steve Bannon left the White House and said, I'm going to support the Trump agenda from outside the White House. And I would argue the Trump agenda does include taking on Mitch McConnell, taking on Jeff Flake, taking on kind of the more establishment part of the Republican Party. And I think Steve Bannon is probably doing that in that role. Like, I would actually argue at this point, Steve Bannon is probably doing Donald Trump more good outside the White House than he did inside the White House, because Bannon was very ineffective in the White House itself.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's the comparison there is telling. He's less harmful when he has less power is another way to make the point. I want to turn from this. So this is sort of the abstract, because, you know, Jeff Weaver writes an op-ed. Everyone forwards it and talks about it, Jeff. You know, you got that viral power like your old boss. I'm trying to get Jeff Weaver to smile, but it's hard.
Thank you. There you go.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.